I want to talk about a topic that, in my opinion, is gradually becoming the single most important question in the entire story of Witch Hat Atelier. And it's not even about whether Coco will be able to save her mother. What interests me is this: what if Coco herself is heading toward a fate far darker than any of us expect? Who will Coco be by the end of the story, a monster or a witch? The more I reread the manga and watch the anime, the stronger my feeling becomes that the story has been building toward this very question from the very beginning. So, if you enjoy discussions like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. New videos come out every day, so there's always something new to watch. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and now let's jump into the discussion. There's one detail that a lot of people overlook. The world of Witch Hat Atelier is built on a lie. For a long time, we're shown magic as a rare gift available only to a chosen few. But the truth turns out to be completely different. Magic isn't something you're born with. Magic is learned. It's drawn. Magic is available to almost anyone who understands the language of sigils and knows how to use magical ink. And that's where the real mystery of this story begins. The secret was right in front of us the entire time. After the day of the pact, witches effectively monopolized magical knowledge. The official explanation is that this was done to protect the world. And when you look at the conflicts of the past, that decision seems understandable on the surface. But there's a huge difference between limiting something and completely monopolizing it. In Coco's world, ordinary people aren't just unable to study magic, they're not even allowed to know how it works. If the secret is exposed, their memories are erased. And that's where I first started asking myself a question. If the system is so certain that it's right, why is it afraid of the truth? What makes this even more interesting is that the author doesn't portray the pointed hats as pure evil. Many witches genuinely want to help people. Kefri is a perfect example. He cares deeply about his students and constantly tries to protect those around him. But the problem isn't individual people. The problem is the structure of the system itself. Sometimes good people end up supporting bad rules simply because they've spent their whole lives believing those rules are normal. Coco grew up among ordinary people, and because of that, she sees magic differently. To her, magic isn't a tool of power, it's a tool for helping others. And that difference is exactly what makes her dangerous to the existing system. This becomes especially clear when the story explores healing. One of the harshest aspects of the pact is the ban on body and mind magic. On paper, the reasoning makes sense. Similar practices caused terrible consequences in the past. But reality turns out to be much more complicated. If someone is suffering and a witch has the power to help but refuses because of the law, can that law still be considered moral? I think the author intentionally pushes us toward this question through the stories of injured and sick people. Witch Hat Atelier constantly shows us the cost of these restrictions, not through lectures, but through human lives. Sometimes doing nothing can be more frightening than forbidden magic itself. That's exactly why the Brimmed Cap group sees Coco as the child of hope. They understand that an ordinary revolutionary won't change anything, but someone who can prove the flaws of the rules through real-world results poses a much greater threat. However, another problem appears here. The Brimmed Caps don't exactly look like heroes either. What if neither side is completely right? This is one of my favorite aspects of the manga. The author refuses to give us simple answers. Yes, the Brimmed Cap group wants to return magic to the people, but the methods they use are often deeply questionable. That's why I don't believe the ending will come down to choosing between two factions. I think Coco's true role is to destroy the conflict itself. She has to prove that a third path exists. When you look at the manga's most recent major events, that idea becomes even more noticeable. The Silver Eve incident essentially demonstrated to society the life-saving potential of magic. Things that were once considered impossible suddenly became reality. Sometimes a single success is enough to destroy a lie that has survived for centuries. And that's where my main theory begins. What if Coco really does move closer to the darker side of the story? Not because she becomes a villain, and not because she joins the Brimmed Cap group. In fact, I think her tragedy could be much more complicated than that. I can absolutely imagine a scenario where Coco is forced to choose between the pact and her mother. If the system tells her to leave things as they are, but forbidden magic offers even the slightest chance to save her mother, would she really walk away? Honestly, I'm not sure she would. Another fascinating detail involves the silver tree. The more information we receive about this power, the more it feels like it will become one of the keys to the story's finale. The parasitic nature of the tree creates an interesting parallel with the witch's system itself. Both the tree and society gradually grow into a person's life, offering protection while demanding a portion of their freedom in return. If this storyline continues developing, Coco may eventually face a choice that can't truly be called right or wrong. Save the people she loves by breaking the rules, or preserve the rules at the cost of the people she loves. And sometimes both choices lead to loss. That's why I believe the ending of Witch Hat Atelier won't really be about magic. It will be about responsibility, and about who gets to decide which knowledge should belong to everyone, and which knowledge must be restricted. That question remains relevant even outside a fictional world. And this is where Coco stands out as a truly unique character. She doesn't fully belong to either side. She was raised among ordinary people, yet she studies magic. She understands the fears of the pointed hats, but she also sees the suffering their laws create. She hears the arguments of the Brimmed Cap group, but she also recognizes the dangers of their methods. That's why my biggest prediction for the future is this: Coco will not become the new ruler of the magical world, nor will she become a monster serving the Brimmed Caps. She will become the person who eliminates the need to choose between those two extremes in the first place. Maybe she'll be the one who opens magical knowledge to the public. Maybe she'll create a completely new system for teaching magic. Maybe she'll find a way to unite healing and magic without repeating the mistakes of the past. But the cost of creating that future could be enormous. There's another reason why the theory of Coco's dark fate feels believable to me. Throughout the entire story, the author repeatedly shows that the biggest changes don't begin with power, they begin with doubt. Every time Coco encounters a new restriction, she doesn't automatically accept it. First, she tries to understand why it exists, and that kind of truth rarely makes life easier. Iguin deserves special attention as well. I think many readers underestimate his role. At first glance, he looks like a classic tempter figure, trying to lure the protagonist to his side. But when you look more closely, something interesting becomes apparent. Iguin almost never pressures Coco through direct orders. Instead, he allows her to notice the cracks in the existing system on her own. It's as if he understands that beliefs people arrive at themselves are far stronger than any ideology forced upon them. That's why I think it's entirely possible that Coco may eventually adopt certain ideas from the Brimmed Cap group without embracing their ideology as a whole. That would feel much more realistic than simply joining their ranks. She could borrow knowledge, methods, or even certain forbidden techniques while still maintaining her own moral compass. If you enjoyed this breakdown, consider supporting the channel by subscribing. We still have plenty of discussions, theories, and deep analyses ahead of us. And for now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm working on many more interesting videos for you, and there's a lot more to come.